Hey, they're live. Gotta change style very quick. No, where is it? Where is it? Here we go.
She's looking good, but always room for improvement.
Okay, so if I'm going to assume that this is you, Jason, give me a moment. Alright, in regards to the new update, which is called the Doomsday Update, so basically think of it as the end of Los Santos entirely, is the only way how they kind of described it on Rockstar, and it's like your job as the online character to save the world if you can. Right, my laptop's broken. No. Won't be able to see the comments. Ah, fuck. Just a moment, everybody. Just a moment. The screen's back on. Alright, laptop's now running. Okay, a load of comments. Please be patient. I'm trying to get everything online at this moment. So I can't see your comments yet, and I can't read anything because I've not got it up on my screen. So, right. New update. Basically, there's a load of new shit out. Obviously, you got new outfits. You can get yourself a DeLorean as well, which is part of the update. Please bear with. I will be checking the message in a moment. There's also new weapons as well, which you can have up to being the Mark II. So you can have the SNS pistol Mark II. You can now have the heavy revolver as a Mark II. That does a lot more damage. The special carbine rifle can do more damage as well. The bullpup rifle, the pump action shotgun now comes with explosive rounds. Same thing with the sniper rifle, except now with close range. The marksman rifle has now got a Mark II variant, and it can also have extended mags, tracer rounds, incendiary rounds, armor piercing, and full metal jacket. So that's the only thing that it's got. You still got your basic other Mark IIs that you can equip as well.
All right then.
and we're also going to take a quick look on what you can get on the websites. So just please be patient. Alright, so basically this is all centered around a new bunker place that you can purchase. So let's try and take a look at this. So you want to go in your Maze Bank foreclosure, and instantly, as you can see on the map, a whole lot of properties are now available to us after so many updates. Starting off with like the clubhouses, which was the very first things that we got. Then it was bunkers, then hangars, and now we have got facilities. And facilities is where is where this where the new heists come into play. So when you log in online onto this, you want to take a look at anything that's got a purple globe around it. So this is where my one is. It's at the foreclosure facility. And basically you can customize it like every other property that you could ever get as well. So you can customize the interior, graphics, orbital cannon that you can get, that's something which I'll show you, security room, lounge as well, privacy glass, and also sleeping quarters should you wish to have one. However, it doesn't just stop there. If you're wondering what we're in a flying version of the MOC. Basically, it is called the Avenger, and inside the Avenger, as you can tell, you can have a customization garage for the new vehicles like the DeLorean. So with this, if we get out very quickly, we'll show you what the benefits are of having a DeLorean. Okay, don't want to have any music on at the moment. Alright, so this is the DeLorean. Its value at the moment for me, if let's just say we're going to have this question now put towards me. So during the heist, so yeah, that's the Avenger, what it looks like. I've got it parked outside. So whenever you do each heist setup and you complete the setup along with the main heist part of it as well, you get the discount as we did previously. So with the Deluxo, which is basically the DeLorean in real life, it was I think it was maybe 4 million or whatnot, and now it's 3.5 million. You can also get a jetpack. You can get a brand new tank. You can get a Strongberg, which is a car that can go underwater. You've got an RCV, which is like a riot van. The Akula is a stealth attack helicopter. You've got the Valeto, which is basically a brand new bomber jet. The Barrage is a new 4x4 with a turret on top. And you've got a Chernobog, which basically can fire so many rockets you don't believe me. And that's for the war stock. In Southern San Andreas, a couple of new vehicles have been added in, just only 2. So you've got the Declassi and the Vapid. I'm only just taking it one step at a time here. And then Legendary Motorsports, because, you know, why not for the lulz. Wow, so much shit. Stop. Yeah, basically. Shite, yes. Strokes, haha. Lend me a tenner. Orbital strikes and jetpacks now. Yes. So you can get these things. I've just only caught up with the bloody stuff now. So anyway, so you've also got a few new supercars that have been added in and whatnot. But before we do that sort of stuff, with this DeLorean, it comes with a few little perks. You can fire machine guns out of it. You can also fire homing missiles. But it doesn't just stop there. This car also has a new mode. This car can hover by pressing the X button. And it also flies as well, so you have technically a flying car. You just accelerate, lift the left analog stick upwards, and basically your car takes flight. So this car is quite deadly. I've used it a couple of times against players, and yeah, it's basically something you don't want to fuck around with. Now we're going to head back to the Avenger, and we're going to fly back to where the main base is. So push X again to deactivate the hover mode, and that's it. Yeah, pretty much. By me saying it seems balanced, there's a whole lot of other stuff which can make it unbalanced. Alright, so this is the Avenger. So with this thing, it's heavy at this stage, so it's fucking slow when you try to take off, but it has a few little perks. So it comes with a cannon when you first purchase it, and then if you upgrade it back at the base, you can have 2 additional cannons, one at the top and one at the rear. And basically these cannons are like tank shells, so if you were to fire it at, let's say, any vehicle, it will one hit kill the vehicle. So that's a nice thing to know. You can also customise the paintwork, you can give it liveries as well. It basically is up to you how you want to customise your own version. It does cost quite a lot of money, but we'll get to that later. There's no flares for this because it's like a tank. This can take a few explosive shots and it will still live. Right. Okay, so once you return back to your facility, and let's say you're using your Avenger stays inside the facility just as the MOC does with your bunker. Alright, so whilst here you can customise the your vehicle, so all you have to do is climb back in, push right on D-pad, and then you get the customization available. So you can equip it with more armor. It comes with a bomb bay. It also has engine upgrades, handling upgrades, liveries, which is, well, whatever you prefer to have. You can respray. You can have a crew emblem on it if you wish, and so on. There's also primary colours. Oh no, not primary colours. What am I talking about? There's also mounted cannons. So you can have a front-mounted turret, which is for free. But if you want to have an all-3 kind of turret system, then it does cost you a bit of money. So yeah. So I've gone for it to be fully weaponized. So you can exit the vehicle. LJT still is a nuisance. And you can also have an additional 6 more vehicles in here. I'm not too sure what those vehicles can be. I think they're just cars and whatnot that you can find off the street if you wish. But there's more to this facility if we go and explore. So let's do that now. Okay. So basically this is nothing different from, let's say, clubhouse to CEO building to hangar to whatever. But its main purpose is to do heists. So, to this room here is your ammo room. So, basically you can customize your weapon loadouts, and you can also come back in here at any given time, pick up the weapons here, and they provide you with ammunition, from sticky bombs to handguns and whatnot. You also have the weapons locker to customize your loadouts, but there's also this nice little feature too that you can do here, which is called the strike team. Now, we've always fallen prey to, let's say, people sending mercenaries after us. Well, this is basically to get your own back. So you've got 3 different levels of strike. You've got strike team level 1, which are only equipped with pistols, and they'll only hunt down one target of your choice. Level 2 is the same thing, but these guys are much more better equipped, and they'll probably be a bit more deadlier as well. And that will cost you $2,000. Now, you can send a highly skilled strike team equipped with special carbine rifles, assault shotguns and so on to chase down a target. So if I wanted to do this, I could click on that and select any player on the screen who I feel like they've pissed me off too much, and they got to go. But we're not going to do that because I'm a money horse, so I like to save my money. You can also purchase snacks from your secretary, so whenever you're feeling low, just come up to this person, select snacks, and purchase anything that you want. But generally it's for free, so... Okay. Still moving on. Now, if you have purchased a living quarters, they will be just here, so depending on what you've chosen for your own living quarters, this is generally what it will look like. Let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, so if you have purchased this as well, you can also have a chilling out section, so you can come in here, chill out, watch TV, relax, or go on the computer to purchase some stuff. Now, I'm going to suppose that you're wondering about this orbital strike, and this is where it is. So if you've purchased this, then this is what you're going to expect. So you get, I don't know how many orbital cannons that you get, but you supposedly get quite a lot. So you walk up to the table, your character will, well, lean in for a closer look. You want me to orbital strike somebody? Well, it will set me back quite a lot of money, but let's just do surveillance first. So once you get onto the orbital strike, you can basically do this to look out for anybody in particular, really. So you can spy on somebody, let's say, doing something. So we can zoom in, and as you can see, there's a guy, and he looks like he's in his Deluxo DeLorean, and he might be in trouble, but we're not going to interfere with him because at the end of the day, it's money if I kill it. So alright, let's take a look. So this is all live happening. So we've got somebody in a Hydrojet. I could try to waste maybe 500 grand or 750 grand to try and take this jet out, but you know. So we take a look at this. So manual targeting. So you can fire an orbital strike cannon on a manually tracked target, and then you've got automatic targeting. So basically, fire an autocannon on an automatically tracked target. So I could waste the money on this, but financially speaking, yeah, spy like mad. So in relative terms, once I've saved up a little bit of money, I will go ahead and blow shit up. And also, yes, so if you're somebody who's interested in maybe, I don't know, changing your style per se, in the past we were limited down to 10 outfits. Yeah, I will do it in a minute. So in the past we were limited to about 10 outfits, but now you can have up to 20 outfits that you can actually customize and change your style as you wish. So it's entirely up to you how you want to make your character look. So for the stream, no, fuck it. Well, let's first of all try to find a target. So instead of me wasting the money and missing, we want to find somebody that we can get. So I only wish that this was a bit more quicker, but you know, shit happens, I guess. Alright, so who's down here? Is this still the Deluxo guy? It might be. Gone. Oh, got a trophy for that as well. Nice. So yeah, that was 500 grand, and there's also a time limit on this as well. So once you use it, that's it. You have to wait for a long time. Oh, I feel bad. I feel bad fucking killing him. Evidently chinned. Evidently. Again, no. I missed it again. Well, unfortunately, there is a time limit, I'm afraid, so I can't. Although I could probably spend money loads upon money. Once you fire one, you have to wait for a bit. So, yeah. Sorry about that. If you missed it, that's your own fault. Now, the heists as well, which is basically what it is. 48 minutes. Jetpack, let's see. Unfortunately, I do not have the jetpack, and I want to wait until I can get the discount. You'll be back. Okay. You'll be back. Let's see. Now when it comes down to the heist, at the moment it would operate as any other heist, but there is one thing that's different from this heist to the previous ones, and it's this: that when you do the setups, instead of being taken into a separate session, the setups actually happen in free mode. So you could basically be in free mode and somebody could be doing a setup and you can actually interfere with them doing that setup. So there's the risk factor into this. Yeah, no jetpack yet. Have you not seen the price of it? Sure, the DeLorean was that much, but I would like to at least get it at 2.7, not 3.6. If I know I can get it cheaper, then what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to wait until I can get it cheaper.
Facility atmosphere at critical. Please replace air conditioning filter.
What's up, Chief?
Well, of course I will. Don't worry about that.
Freedom comes hot from a barrel, yes, sir. You'll never look back. 10-4.
Right. Sorry about that. Party decided to get a little bit rejected. Gotta love explosive snipers. Finally, I get a chance to think. So in regards to, let's say, new weaponry, if let's say we're interested in this, with the shotgun, as I probably said beforehand, it comes equipped with explosive rounds. So it's similar to the sniper rifle. Instead of us having to, let's say, run the risk of being close range with this, we can now actually be in close range and fire this off and deal a quick amount of damage. Obviously, there are a few other weapons that have been upgraded as well with the Mark II. So instead of, let's say, the assault rifle and carbine, we now have the special carbine Mark II, which is the G36. And then you've also got the bullpup rifle, which I think is the FAMAS in maybe real life. And then you've also got the, what is it now? The heavy revolver Mark II. With this, I've given it FMJ rounds, so I'll be able to pierce armor vehicles a lot more easier. And there's also the SNS pistol Mark II, which comes with the red dot sight. So yeah, pretty bead. Just bear with. Okay. Don't mean to go back and forth. It just some stuff I had to quickly take a little look at. So, let's see. Could you get mad cash from the heist? Yes. So, if you remember, like, the last heist which came out, I think, what was it, in 2015, when we started off doing, let's say, I think it was with the Fleecer job. The Fleecer job gave you not a lot of cash in the beginning. Well, from when me and Tactical Hobbit done the first heist, with me being the heist leader, the maximum profit from the first heist was, just trying to think now, it was 650 grand. That was the total price of it all. I split it with him 50-50 because you can now do the heists with 2 people instead of 4. But that being said, though, you need to know what you're doing, and also you need to take on the understanding that with these heists now, when you do the setups, you're in free mode, and when you're in free mode, it kind of fucks over. You can get easily fucked over with by other players. So the same rules still apply with the heist setup. So, like, the host leader of the heist won't get paid until the very end. However, the colleagues that he's hired will get paid throughout each little installment of the setup. Now, from this first one that me and Hobbit did, I got 650 grand at the very end, but I split it with him 50-50. But because it was a first time heist bonus, I got 430 something grand, I think. But I can easily take a look on Maze Bank to find out how much money it was. Not that Maze. Money. Transaction log. Oh no, it only goes by recent events. Oh well, never mind. But yeah, so roughly around about 400 grand was what I got on the first heist. Yeah, pretty much. It is a bit overpowered per se with, let's say, doing 2 people. However, the heists are now split up into 3 different acts. Now, I've done Act 1 with Hobbit, and the only reasons why that I'm doing it with him is because for one reason alone is this. The reason why I'm doing it is just to find out what it is that the heist entails. So, like, basically what you have to do at each heist. So with the first act, you obviously get introduced to the facility that you get. You meet Lester again. You also meet another guy and his AI that he created, and he works for the government, which is the IAA building just across a road literally, and basically you have to go and source out a few things. So the first part of the setup's kind of like broken down into 2 stages. So the first one you have to do is that you have to steal medical equipment from a paramedic ambulance. Then you have to take some DeLoreans from somebody who owns 4 of them. And then the last one is you have to go and steal the Akula attack helicopter, which has got stealth capabilities. And then once you do those, you then move on to the next stage of the heist. It's still technically a setup, but you have to do the next bit, which is, so when you take the paramedic stuff, you have to go into the morgue, which I think is down there somewhere, and one of you, if there was 4 people, then 2 people will be as paramedics and the other 2 would be stealing a Savage attack helicopter for another reason. Now when me and Hobbit done this, I was the paramedic team, he was the Savage operator team. Basically we had to go and find a memory disk of a dead agent, and once we took that, we just had to return it back to this guy that Lester knows. Once that was done, we then moved on with the DeLoreans, and then with the DeLoreans you basically had to hack moving vehicles. So there would be 4 moving vehicles that you'd have to hack on the road. Then there was another 4 on the water, so that's where the hover mode comes in. And then finally there's one where you have to hack a huge jumbo jet plane, which is where the flying capability comes in. And once you do that, you basically destroy the vehicle, not the Deluxo, but the jet, and then you just take it back and whatnot. Then finally for the last one, you have to go and infiltrate into the Noose Squadron headquarters, and you have to hack into their systems, to their mainframes. So basically you have to stealth it. So with 2 people it was pretty easy, but what ended up happening was, when you have to hack, it has to be done in a certain way. You only get so many attempts, otherwise you trigger an alarm and basically you get the whole Noose facility after you. So there's that. And then for the final heist, not the final heist, but the final part of Act 1, you have to go to another facility that the IAA own, basically you have to prevent them from being, let's say, all murdered by another foreign agency, which you get the 650 grand from. So yeah, pretty much that's what it comes down to. And the second one, I'm going to assume, because I'm going to have a guess on this, the second heist, well, the second act of the heist will probably have something to do with, because we got the Deluxo and then the Akula, so that was pretty nice nice to get straight away. My guess next would probably maybe be something to do with the Stromberg, which is a car that can go underwater. Maybe the RCV, and maybe the tank. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, it's 50-50. And then finally for the third act, probably might get Jetpack last, the Valeto, and then maybe the Chernobog. But then again, the Chernobog might be next, because this next act includes a Russian kind of guy. And yeah, you can also purchase the laser now. It's worth 6.5 million. So that's come out with the update for Smuggler's Run. So yeah, mid heist. Yeah, there's 2 acts, and then the third act, you get the remaining stuff. But there's also other vehicles that you get as well. So
that I have an MBA?
yeah, styles. Don't know what to put on. Just put CEO on, be easier. So yeah, generally I'll only just say this to make it a lot more easier, is when obviously a new update ever comes out, people just swarm back on to GTA Online because, you know, oh, it's new content, it's everything else, and basically you're going to get your children and then your dickheads who come back onto the game, and they basically cause a lot of shit. So yeah. Oh no. Alright, so here's the thing. When you actually do the heist itself, so when you go out and do a main heist, you will be taken away from the free mode lobby. So you will be taken to a privately owned heist session only. So basically you won't get interfered with. However, when it comes down to the setups, so like with the first act of the heist, where you have to steal, let's say, paramedic equipment, when you have to go steal the ambulance that you have to steal will only be found in free mode. So if you're doing this by yourself, it's kind of a bit daunting, because considering of like how many people there are in a session, let's say today, the one that I'm in, there's around about 20 people here, and if I were to be, let's say, brand new to this heist and I decided to go and do it, I could do it on my own, or I can go and hire people, to join up with the thing. And you have to be either a CEO or a MC to start off the heists. So basically it kind of griglocks it to, let's say, your friends that you basically work alongside with. So not only do they get the benefits of being paid with being part of the CEO, but they get paid for doing the setups, and obviously when it comes down to the main heist, the heists then get divided up fairly. So that's how it all works out. But the only reason why I'm forestalling this at the moment is because I want to kind of get this done with Hobbit, as I said in the past, so that way he and I will both know what to deal with, because he's got his own stuff to do at this moment, but he's not awake at the moment, he's asleep. So, yeah. It does give you mad amount of money. So, as I said, the first main heist that you get, the total is 650 grand. Plus the additional 100, so basically you're getting nearly 750 grand in total for like just doing it first time. If you are consistent with it, and let's just say you want to try and do the criminal mastermind challenge, which means during the entire setups you have to be with the same people, you have to make sure you don't die, you have to make sure that you do it probably in a reasonable amount of time as well. So yeah, you can do it that way. So there is technically no time limit between each heist that you do, but if you do decide to do the heist, you've got to make sure that you do each one efficiently and effectively. So when I'm with Hobbit, I'm only doing it just to know what I'm up against, and then later on, when I do all the heists, then I can restart the heists again, and then I can select yourself or another group of people. Or if it's just going to be me and you, then okay, fair enough. At least you get a bit more money in your pocket, because we don't have to, divide it up any less. So it can be a split 50-50 if it has to be. So yeah, if it's 650 grand at the beginning, I can only imagine what it's going to be at the second and then at the last. But I'm going to guess maybe at the last bit of on the third act, it might be maybe a couple million that can get divided. I don't know. So I haven't really looked into it, and I don't want to spoil it for myself just yet. And what was I doing? Go to the roof. No problem, I'll let you know. So at this point, as I said, he is technically asleep. I mean, I've just finished my shift tonight, so at some point I'll be going off to bed, but not yet. Then bead. Well, yeah, I will bead. But at this current moment, so everything else is still technically the same. You can still do the SecuroServe shit if you need to. So, like, you can do executive search, piracy prevention, hostile takeover, headhunter. I suppose doing headhunter now would be a lot more easier. I have to say, I love this rifle. I'm not a bully, Jason. You know how I feel against fucking jets and people in them. And besides, if that's a jet that he spent 6.5 million, do you know what you get for the laser that you buy for 6.5 million when you put it in your hangar? You're only able to give it new paintwork. So spending 6.5 million on a jet that I can easily steal in the military base for free doesn't cost me anything. Let alone having to pay $1,000 just to get it, you know, back from Wars Mutual. So it's like, there's no point. Oh yeah, there's also a new radio station called Blonded Los Santos, but we're not going to have that on because it's too loud. Sweet. Yeah. Sweet as a nut. So yeah, with this DeLorean though, you can fire fucking missiles for days if you wanted to. They bend as well. They bend, bend, bend. And I have to say, with this car as well, it's actually pretty nifty. I mean, not saying with like the flying's cool, but when it's on roads, like on all four tyres, it's also pretty nimble. So it's a handy car to have. No, that's gonna hit the mountain. Oh yeah, not to mention that this car can also float on water as well. So if you think that's overpowered, then, you know, let me know. Poor little pink dude has no idea. So whereas in the past, let's say you had to go and get a buzzard or whatnot to get these guys, with this car you can basically do that and it's over and done with. Pretty simple. It's quick, it's easy, and yeah, it's broken. It's a beautiful thing to have, man. And then that's it, job done. If you bear with me, alright? Bear with. Where is it? Where's the Avenger? Oh wow, that's fucking amazing. Out of all the places it parks, it can park in there. Fantastic.
Hello.
Alright. Yes, yes, yes. I don't have it. Why do you want $10?
Have a good one. Bye. Hi. 10-4.
Yeah, you can. Join my. Oh, that's my shit that I can get. Not you, I'm afraid. So what happens is the 650 grand is the basic amount of money that you'll get every time. But when you do it for the very first time, you get an additional 100 grand as a first time bonus. So that's what they did with the previous heist. So with the previous heist, you got the basic money, and then you got a bonus for it being, your first time. And that back then it was just like maybe an extra 20 grand. But because this is now a much more, let's say, more advanced one, instead of us in the past when we done the first heist, which was what, like 50 grand to 60 grand, you're instantly getting nearly 300 grand out of your own share if you're going to divide it up 50-50. If you divide it up by 25%, it'll be nearly 150 grand each, I think.
Hey there. Got something in mind?
At the moment, we haven't got it because when I went into the heist room, it instantly kicked me in, and I thought, oh great, so I can start it. And then when Hobbit came along, he kind of explained to me to say, listen, in order for you to do the criminal mastermind thing, you have to start from literally all the way to the beginning with the person straight away. If you have somebody added in later, it cancels it out. So I have to go through it all the way through, finish it, and then when I restart it all over again, then if you want to join me, because I'll know much more about it, then,
Like a brand new weapon. Trust me.
Well, the only other way how I can say to you that you can make an instant a lot of money, and I know you're going to hate me for saying it, but just listen. When it comes down to the bunker, in the sense of it all, hear me out. In the sense of it all, the only thing that you'd have to do, instead of you paying for it to get a resupply, you steal the supplies itself. It doesn't cost you a penny to steal it. Yeah, I know, but at the previous, when it was the Smuggler's Run, there was a 25% bonus speed of manufacturing. So if you still had the game, your shit would have been finished in no time. and then you would have been able to sell it, and that would have been what? What other facilities do you have? Is it just that? You mean the warehouse where you? All right. So. All right. So, if the only other way how I can recommend that you can get, like, say, quite a lot of money in a short space of time is you be a CEO. You don't have to fill the bunker or the you're not the bunker. Sorry, you don't have to fill up your warehouse pretty high. You can have maybe 10 to 12 crates, and that's nearly 300 grand. Well, I'm just thinking if you want to have the instant cash straight away. If I'm, let's say, if you've got GTA, and let's say I've also, well, it's not just the sniper. There's now an explosive pump action shotgun. So yeah, so like the new weapons. So you got the Mark II pistol, which it came out a while back. Then you've got the S&S pistol Mark II. Then obviously you've still got the LMG and the SMG, which are still the same. You still have the assault rifle Mark II, the carbine Mark II. The special carbine is the new one. That's the Mark II variant. You've also got the bullpup rifle, which is a Mark II, which again is basically a much more better variant. There's nothing new on sniper rifles except for the marksman rifle Mark II. That looks good. Well, it's basically the marksman rifle, but it's the Mark II variant. It does a lot more damage and it's a lot more accurate than its original predecessor. So, with me taking a look now, so hang on a second, let me just say.
That is a wholesome day's fun taken care of.
Well, I'm going to take a look for you now. So, whether you're still looking on the live stream, so you can take a look for yourself on my thing. All right. So at the moment, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 9 facilities that are available, and basically the closest one to LS is the most expensive. So I'm trying to find the most cheapest one. That's 1.8, 2 million, 2 million, 1.6, 2.7, 1.4. All right. More or less, yep. So, yep, next to the dam, that's what I've got. So, the Palito Bay facility is the most cheapest one. It's worth 1.25 million. And then with all the other bits and pieces that you get inside, which are as follows, you can get a different kind of style. So you can get a supremacy or whatever else that you want to go for. So you can have basic utility. Yeah, the most expensive shit is what I've gone for. You can also go for different graphics. You can have the orbital cannon and security room. You can have yourself a lounge with privacy glass and sleeping quarters with privacy glass as well. It is. Well, I've only heard people. No, there's nothing. Basically, what happens is you don't. I haven't been on the receiving end, but I've been driving around here when it was first out yesterday. And when I was driving in the new DeLorean that I got, all I could hear was a massive explosion, and it wasn't too far away from me. And then there was another explosion, so there's more than one shot that can be fired. So if you pay like the 750 grand one, then you can have multiple shots, I guess. But it's very devastating, and you don't know who's watching. But all you do know is that somebody is using the orbital cannon, and basically it's just like it's a waiting game. Not possible, I'm afraid. People have tried it. Doesn't work. What? No. I think you might have already told this to me before, but... Only Sam. I know what I was doing on that particular photo. I had a McFlurry ice cream, and I had a McFlurry ice cream. I was talking to Jason online, and I told him what I was having. You turned around and said to me, "You're a greedy fat pig," you know that? I went, "Uh-huh," and I posted him the picture on the PSN chat of me having the McFlurry. And the next thing I know, I hear Sam giggling, and I say, "What have you done?" And he says, "Oh no, don't worry about it." And I look when he's finished, and I thought, right, I'm not having that. So it was done. I did say to him, it better not be rude, because otherwise I'll report you. And he says, no, you won't. I said, Sam, you don't get it. I will do it. So I am still broadcasting, you idiot. Oh, cool. It's probably not the most...